somebody left it out 2 days and they start citing you. So again, it depends how you see it. We probably could, and the city would love, if we were to get a private pick up my junk, call 800 pick up my junk, and we would have to pay for it. You could offer that, and maybe we could have it picked up once a month. The only issue is, what is the issue? You could figure it out. If we say we're going to have this picked up on say today, and somebody decides, well, we'll dump it out Tuesday, last Tuesday, we're going to have to look at it for, that's the problem. It's going to go right back to, and again, they weren't 100% wrong. How they went about doing it was wrong, because it's a situation we all have here. So then you have to consider, if we pay, River Shores pays to have that pickup, which the city, what do they care? That's not their main garbage thing. Then you have to remember our neighbors may be joining in for free, because why not? What would we do about it? We're not standing there. So you see, it's a catch 22 plus 22, you're never going to win this. So it's not about no, it's about, I don't know there is a right answer or a wrong answer. Go ahead.
Because they removed the bulk bin, can they be, River Terrace be charged from MRC, or do we?
Well,
I don't know if we
again,
asked
that would come under the Middle River Club board. Because River Shores holds a majority, it could be put back. Middle River Club could pay for it. They don't have to like it, because, we've got 3. And plus, it's been said enough times, you always have your 3 votes. I never looked at it that way, but that's the fact how they look at it. And not only could they pay for the bulk, Middle River Club, but again, then we could charge back for the parking spaces. Now, the only issue is with the city, will they issue a permit? So yes, Helen, you're rolling your eyes. Yes, it is. I get it. I get it. Sure, I get it. I don't know how the city, because of the issue, they won't do anything with the illegal bike house there. It is what it is. So it's a political thing. Yeah. Just like the garbage, it's political. That goes, Julie, just so you know, that goes back 20 whatever years with the garbage, that you must use the city for the garbage.
Another question.
Wait, let them finish laughing. Go ahead.
You guys
We're
are-
not laughing. We can't even hear you to begin with.
Oh,
We can hear you, but we can't hear anybody else.
oh. Folks, can you speak up so they can hear you?
Sure. Another idea was, you had said maybe once a month for the city to come and,
Correct.
well, what about, I don't know, do they not do that weekly for large stuff when they go through the city? I
Isn't it
don't know.
just,
I
isn't it
think-
once a month?
Yeah,
Once a month,
like
right?
with the houses,
Isn't
it would
once a
be
month that they
similar.
come
Well,
around to the houses?
you have to remember, we were once a month here, and then we'd have to call for a second pickup, and it was
Right.
varying amounts they would charge.
Right.
It depends, I guess, if they needed to fund their retirement. I'm not supposed to say that. There was never any set amount. It could be $150, it could be $300. You remember that whole thing? And then they didn't like how I was doing it, so I says, charge it up. You remember that. We don't need to go through that. You get it. So then they didn't want to do anything. They just wanted to complain that, one up in the office. So I don't know how to answer it other than give you what, and it's a spread. It's not a right or wrong thing.
I still feel like it's a Middle River Club issue, because I feel like, regardless, to Tony's point, like, the other buildings are gonna use the bulk.
Correct.
Can't hear you at all. We can't hear you at all. I'm sorry.
She's thinking it should maybe be a Middle River Club
If you could.
issue. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
so
So,
I don't think there's anything for us to action right now, just because
She's not gonna raise it.
they're still gonna use it regardless.
Right.
Correct.
Well, the only thing I
And
think
then we're not
that,
gonna get money for
I
it.
think that what River Shores can go ahead and do is just, I know this sounds stupid, because people are gonna ignore it, but just give them a list of organizations that'll come and pick up any items for free, so that, you don't have to use like
Can I
got
tell you
junk.
something?
What? People aren't, well, some
No.
people
No,
will go ahead and
I-
do it.
Honestly, I had the issue recently because I had a carpet to throw away,
Yeah.
and so it, you know what I mean.
But
It was.
was it a good carpet? Because are you saying, no offense, because if you're saying that everybody should use that, are you saying like Pavarillos or something? Because they only take the good stuff.
So I'll tell you, well, that's the point. I will tell you an experience I just had with my mother's stuff.
Okay.
The furniture's 25 years old. It was not in bad shape, but one, it had a little edge. It was breaking off in the back, you know, from sitting. No, they threatened they were not going to take it. So if I said, you don't take this, you're taking nothing, because all the other stuff was good. So to answer your question with my firsthand experience, if it's one couch and it's got a break in it or something, it's highly likely it will not be taken. But if you had a bunch of stuff, like some of it was really good, some of the stuff my mom has is good, they would consider taking it because it's all or nothing. But I had to say all or nothing. So
But-
does that answer your question?
Yeah, so like the issue is, for everything that's not reusable to someone else, someone's gonna be in a situation.
Yeah, because
We
a lot
don't
of the
have-
stuff that is thrown away is stuff nobody wants.
Yeah.
People are getting rid of. It's broken or it's
Right.
junk. So that's, I think, like, say Pavarillos is gonna be tired of, oh no, we can't take all this junk and maybe half of it or a quarter or something is resellable. So I don't think that's a good solution.
No, but I'm making that point.
Not a
Yeah.
permanent
So how I wrote it in the email, if you recall, to the residents, if you're gonna throw something out, do it during the week after Monday, because they're picking up Tuesday, Monday, then Wednesday they're picking up, Thursday they're picking up, and Friday. So do it in the afternoon, just not Friday afternoon, not Sunday, Saturday. Then at least, so if it's a TV,
And where do they put things?
in the dumpster.
Oh, and our little ones?
Yeah, but they have to do it during the week in the afternoon. So then the next day, it shouldn't fill up. Basil said the garbage is okay, except, you know, the pizza box and the brown, right. But then again, that has always been.
Right.
So with the 5 day a week, I mean, how much garbage can we really, a full house even, I don't throw that much garbage out. So, but I don't know what people are throwing out. So, but if there's a chair, you know, a couch is obviously gonna have to be cut up. So how I said it to Steve was, maybe get his chainsaw and they can cut it up. How often is somebody gonna throw a couch? Now, if it's somebody from the outside, you know, that's a different issue.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
couch, mattress. I'm
Somebody
just-
did throw a mattress in
Yeah,
there,
refrigerator, I'm just putting out things that are large. You can't cut up, you can't, I think that's kind of a lot to have to cut everything in half with a chainsaw. I don't know, that's just,
But again, how often is it all done?
well, when we had the bulk, that would fill up pretty fast. So I couldn't say how often, but it would be used, so.
You
I'm
know
just
what,
trying-
Fred? The solution is, as she said, put it under Middle River Club. We'll find a vendor. Steve had said, you know, instead of the, well, let's also discuss the extra issue with the bulk prior. You know, they pick it up with the claw. So, of course, what happens, they're not careful with the side, so that's why the fence was breaking. And of course, then it goes down like this and it hits the driveway. So you're gonna have to, this time, when it's built, if the city will allow it, and, you know, it's always good to remind them they allowed an illegal bike structure to remain. Structure's gonna have to be bigger and probably with the concrete walls. So this way, when the claw, it's not gonna hopefully damage as easily. And of course, there would have to be gates of some sort. Maybe they could even be removed when they come, because the city would come, if you remember, it had to be the second full week. So the first week had to be full, the second week had to be full, then they would come, otherwise it would be the third week. Yeah, they have a strange schedule. So that's how that would work. But again, it would be up to the Middle River Club because you want to table this or let the Middle River, because it will be handled by the community, be used, excuse me, by the community. Is that correct?
Yeah, let's table that for Middle River Club also, and so more information can be asked about, or alternatives.
We're probably looking in the neighborhood of 20 grand plus. Yeah.
For a company to come.
Well, yeah, because we're gonna make it a little bigger, make it a little more solid. The floor is gonna have to go on, because if you remember, we got cited, because the floor was, it's gonna have to be metal or something solid cement, because they're going to damage it. That's a big problem with the city damaging this property, and then they're not responsible because, it's a city.
So,
Go ahead.
well, we can table it for Middle River Club. It's fine.
No, you table it for River Shores for
I mean,
Middle
sorry,
River
yes.
Club. So, is there a motion, is that what you wanna do, Fred?
Yeah, let's table that and look more into it if anybody has any thoughts too. Let's get some more information on it.
Okay. Well, the vendor is easy enough for me to get. That's, it's a project, but,
Like to build the structure versus
yeah.
seeing if someone can come out and how much that would be.
And where, because wasn't it
Well,
on,
like the city,
wasn't
I
it
guess.
on River Terrace?
Yeah, it was shared between River, there was an agreement, obviously, from the Middle River Club where it would be shared. So River Terrace decided no, and they wanted to remove it. It is what it is. So what I would recommend is, put it on River Shores property, right? There was a space and a half that way, space and, split. And then just charge back Middle River Club something, to recover our costs for that property destruction. I don't know, a couple of $100 a month each space or something like that. Something to really make our position understood.
Do we get the cost of a new one, say we go that way, and then take that, and that amount is put back on them, even if it's in?
Yes, it would be
monthly
put under the Middle
But-
River Club.
But the
Yeah,
whole,
you
the whole
can't, you
thing?
can't force them to pay the bill. You can under Middle River Club. So that enough will,
Okay.
get them upset. But, oh well.
And with Middle River Club, can I ask the question? I know-
Sure,
I know
ask
we're not
anything you
there.
want.
They did it, but then if it's Middle River Club, are all of us sharing in that debt?
Correct. Well, Fred, there's a lot of ways to look at it. You can and argue, and then it's gonna go back and no, just, trust me.
All right, I just
We could
wondered.
discuss this privately later.
Tony, can I make a positive suggestion?
Please to the board.
Why don't we, it seems to be, to me, because I have the direct view, that we're talking about basically a couch and a mattress that got stuck. Considering the number of people that live in all three complexes, that's a very minimal amount. And with all the changes that are going on with cartons and Amazon and so on and so forth, I think we're doing pretty well right now. But if we put out a list of places like Faith Farms, which will pick up virtually anything without charge, and Salvation Army and Goodwill and the others, Paparillo's difficult, very difficult, and they will make it hard on you. But I think if we got a list, like you said, you have a carpet, I have a chair I'd love to get rid of. You can't call Faith Farms. I've been there a number of times. They're 10 minutes from here.
No, I'm aware. I go, that's where I shop, can't you tell?
We know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm very proud of it, too.
Well, and I'm gonna say something too. You need to stop the contractors from out dumping. Any other place that's ever down here, a contractor does demolition work, they take their garbage with them. They don't dump it, toilet bowls and cabinets, and all the rest of that into a bulk trash.
Any idea of how?
They take it with them, they have a
No, no,
truck, that's
they-
part of
they-
their service.
Right, and they ought to, but some will say, oh, I don't wanna pay to take it wherever and dump it. That, oh, when nobody's looking, I'm gonna just throw it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it hasn't really happened in the last few months, and It's much more pleasurable for those that have the view, not
Yes.
to look at all the disgusting side. Yeah.
There's agreement there.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. It's a issue, though.
right.
So
Absolutely.
to answer your issue in regard to the contractors, anytime, and they have to take it away. Anytime somebody's mentioned it to me, they must take that debris away. The windows, when the windows are replaced, I write right on the approval, they must take it, it's understood. Now, if somebody's taking their own toilet out, which we do have people that do, and I know Jack does his own work, that's what it's there for. So you may see construction debris there, but I don't know that it's contractors putting it there. I know that it's individualized.
Just like even you had cardboard, I'll tell you what, I moved in here 7.5 years ago, I tore every piece of cardboard up and put it in the recycle bin. I have not put one piece of garbage in the bulk trash since I've lived here. So I don't understand what the big issue is.
About
I
having
really
it?
don't.
About having it?
Well, there's people that come in here and forage through it. There's people that come in here and illegally dump. You know, there's
Well,
nothing.
You're not gonna how are you gonna control that?
Well, you have a camera on it, you know,
Yeah.
and the camera turns around and picks up, and eventually you catch people. This is what the world is about nowadays.
But so far, it really hasn't been a major problem. It's just.
It would,
a few
if it was
items.
handled differently, it wouldn't have been a crisis. We were in a
Right.
crisis. It was bad. And, you know, I wasn't handling the garbage, the guys were had to handle it. And Basil really, much to his credit, and Steve, right with him, handled it quite well. So, they're to be honored for that. Go ahead, Robert.
May I? And thank you, I know this isn't really the time for comments from the floor, but I just wanted to point out, I agree with Tony 100%, it was an eyesore, and I worried that it would be again, and my point of view is this: if that was in front of my house, and I had to look out at that every day, I would not be very happy, and a lot of people look out, and that is their view. So I don't know how a new one would work out, but I think it'd be awfully hard to have it covered. Like the gas station next door has all their garbage cans in a kind of a structure that's all covered and put away. That's a gas station. This is something that you're gonna see things out the top of it or whatever, and it really was, I mean, I drove by it every day. It really looked terrible. I don't know what else to say.
Right.
I understand the issues, and thank you for discussing them, and I know it will come to the MRC board, but I just wanted to point out, think about how you'd feel if that was your view.
Yeah.
You know, I think you have to at least consider that. You know, how would you feel if you looked out on that view?
You are correct, Robert, but again, that bulk structure was there when you all moved in. It was no secret.
But didn't it get a lot worse over time?
It did.
It has always been an eyesore. What happened, it got worse because somebody wasn't handling it. So what happened, and the facts of that situation were, River Terrace didn't like the way I was handling it. So, okay, you handle it. They decided they weren't gonna handle it, then I got blamed. And this was all discussed in the Middle River Club board meeting. One of them over there said he would take care of it. He never did. Then I had to write an email to the city, and I have it documented. There was an agreement that they did. They agreed to, and they didn't follow through with it. It's not about blame. It's about when somebody doesn't like something and takes it on, then does not follow through.
My comments are not meant in any shape, way, or form as a criticism.
Oh, no, no, I'm giving you
just saying,
information.
Going forward,
Right.
perhaps these are some issues that one might want to consider.
But you
because-
made the, go ahead, you made the comment, so I want to get,
No, thank you, and I
It's
appreciate
not
that.
about
I just
making
make sure
right
I'm
or
not
wrong.
criticizing what happened.
it's not about making it right or wrong, it's about giving you the information from a
And I
factual
appreciate that.
standpoint.
I really do. I'm just saying going
So-
forward, and then as somebody else pointed out, even if we do that and we have a nicer structure and it's better built, there's still the visual aspect, and then there's also the aspect, which I don't know how we're gonna police, of people coming in here and dumping their stuff out in the middle of the night, and I've seen it. I've talked to people, I'm like, I don't recognize you, why are you here? And they're just dumping things out and leaving, and that happens in a lot of places with
Yeah,
these kinds of
it's
structures.
not, it's,
I'm just saying, these are some things to consider, that's all.
And the answer may be not to put the structure in.
Maybe.
None of us have an answer for it.
I understand.
And again, as I mentioned, 20 whatever years ago, no such structure existed. And if you want to be really clear, the bins, the recycling bins overlooking that water view, I mean, it's a much improvement, if you really want to be
Big
honest.
improvement. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
Big
so over the years, you know, recycling, bulk, you know, that developed, and then we got addicted, if you will,